Welcome to the Filthy Dad Pod, a place where three washed up dads talk sports to the masses in between wiping asses. I am your host, Ryan, and to my right, that beautiful bald man is Tom. Tom, how you feeling tonight, bro?
Feeling fantastic, brother. How are you feeling?
I can't complain. It's almost Christmas time. We got some good stuff done this week that we had to get done to get prepared for Christmas time. We got a big weekend coming up. We get to see all types of family. Get to see my wife's family, spend some time with them. Get to see my family, spend some time with them. You know how Christmas is, bro. In our family, it's just everybody gets together. It's always usually typically a big party. We're supposed to do breakfast at Iva's this year, but I don't think we're doing it. So that's a tradition that we're missing out on this year. But who knows? Maybe next year we pick it up and we start doing that. You come to my house on Christmas if I do Christmas breakfast time?
Absolutely.
That's a bullshit lie. You're gonna say that you're gonna come, and then when it comes time to show up,
Yeah, I'll be there as long as breakfast at 7 a.m.
breakfast could be. Listen, she used to do breakfast at like 9 o'clock. Breakfast was early as shit. People would be knocked out by 11, 12 o'clock on the couch, just snoozing away. What's your Christmas typically look like? Because we don't spend Christmases together. I don't think I've ever seen you on Christmas or Christmas Eve.
It's technically the same thing. Well, now Saturday, Christmas Eve, going to Brianna's parents' house. Going to spend the day up there. So that's where I'm going to watch most of football. I'll be like the king of the house up there, dude, just on a recliner and just watching the Birds game, but watching football all day there. And then pretty much got to come home and be Santa Claus
You look like them.
and go to open up presents here, and then going to my sister's house Sunday around like 4 o'clock, and I'll be there most of the night. So that's pretty much it.
What'd you ask? What'd you
Present,
ask
see
Santa
her
for Christmas?
family, see a new pair of work boots.
Work boots.
Yeah,
That's usually my Father's Day go to. I typically get new work boots on Father's Day.
it rained today. My boots got a hole in the bottom, so my socks got wet.
It rained today, so I stayed home. The weather was fucking terrible. Nah, I stayed home because we didn't have a babysitter. But yeah, today sucked. But tomorrow you can't stay home because you're having that holiday party at your job.
It's
And
supposed to be. I think it's gonna be. The crazy thing is though, it's supposed to be like 57 degrees tomorrow, and then it's supposed to drop down, and then Saturday it's supposed to be like a high of 18, but it's supposed to feel like 3 degrees all day Saturday. So it's gonna be a cold
wow,
one Saturday.
bro, it's gonna be cold, wet, and nasty all across, like everywhere. The East Coast is getting hammered. The I was looking at a lot of the games. Just taking a peek at the games coming up, and a big factor, and a lot of them are going to be weather. A lot of cold games, a lot of rain coming in, some snow in some places. Um, but yeah, it's not looking. I don't think we're going to get a white Christmas. I think we're just going to get a wet Christmas. Well, wet leading up to Christmas, then it's going to be dry. No snow though. We don't ever get snow on Christmas anymore. But it should be a good time, man. In this house we got so many damn kids. It's like these kids wake us up, bro. 7 a.m. ass crack of dawn. They're in our room, banging on the door, waking us up. Oh my god, we gotta go downstairs. And then I do the whole dad thing. I always got the iPad set up. I record them every year. And every year I'm the same thing. I'm fucking trying to wipe stuff out of my eyes. I'm still trying to wake up, and I got four crazy kids in front of me just going wild. All right, so I had some trivia for you guys, but Derek's a little under the weather, so he's not with us. But I'm still going to give you a chance at your trivia question, Tom. You are currently up 800 to 400. I will give Derek his chance, and if he answers it right, I will just update his score. And in honor of Franco Harris, who famously caught the Immaculate Reception, passing away, this week's trivia is going to be about some of the NFL's greatest plays. As always, 100 through 500. Tom, you got a 400-point lead. Pick a number.
Go big or go home, baby. 500 points.
500. All right. So this 500 point, I don't think is as hard as previous weeks, but Kevin Dyson took a lateral back for 6 points to win a wild card playoff matchup in 2000. What team was that against? It's called the Music City Miracle. What team suffered against the Music City Miracle, Tom? I will give you 15 more seconds.
Music City Miracle.
Mm-hmm. You
Oh,
have, give you 10.
I'm drawing a blank. Like I'm trying to think of where Music City Hall is. I'm really drawing a blank.
Well,
Because
Music City Miracle is Kevin Dyson was the Tennessee Titans, the Music
yeah,
City
that's what I'm
Miracle.
saying. Well,
Who were they playing? That's
uh,
Tennessee, bro.
and it was
Who
a
was that?
playoff game,
It was a wild card playoff game,
so they were playing another. They were playing another AFC
an
team,
AFC
the
team.
Buffalo Bills.
That is correct. That is correct. And one of our Facebook users, it doesn't show me their account, but I can figure out who it is, answered that before you did. Kevin Rice, a guest of the host, answered that before you did. But that was a good one. All right, Kev, you still with us or any of our viewers? I'm going to give you guys one. I'm going to give you guys one. Which one? And this is the one that Derek's not going to get. Let me see. Let's go with this one. Who was on, and this one's another pretty easy one. I don't think none of these were too hard. Who was on the receiving end of a 6-yard touchdown pass by Joe Montana, which famously became known as the catch? You won't get no points, Tom, but you can still answer as we wait for maybe a comment or two to come in and see if they can get it.
Was he a tight end?
He was a tight end. I think yeah. Our viewers are on fire, I'll tell you that. Without looking at that comment, Tom.
I can't see the comments. I see like the private chat. I don't have the comments up.
He was a wide receiver.
He was I
That's
mean,
what
it's
he
not
was
Jerry
listed as.
Rice.
The answer,
Clark.
Dwight Clark, Tommy. Damn, if you would have went, if Derek was here and Derek got to go first and took that 500-point question, you would have got that one wrong. I should have bumped that up, knew that you weren't going to get that one. All right, so we'll give Derek a chance to, and since I stole the 300 or the 400-point question, I'll give him a chance at a 300 and a 100-point question when he's ready. But I want to jump into something else real quick before we jump.
I got some trivia for you, buddy.
Oh, you got trivia for me?
Yeah, let's see how
Come
much.
Come on.
Bring the hands up on the screen, brother. Let's see how much
I see.
Let's see how much you know about your beloved Philadelphia 76ers. 2 questions. And the comments don't answer this question yet until
I'm off the comment. No. You guys, I'm off the comment section. I can't see what they write. I just see it pop up as like a little red circle that says 1 or 2.
You get 1 guess per play. You get 1 guess per question, all right?
I'm writing. Well, I won't write. Go ahead.
Who was the last Philadelphia 76er to participate in the dunk contest?
Andre Iguodala.
Correct. Now, last question. Who is the 76ers? Who's the all-time single season 3-point makes in a single
JJ
season?
Redick.
Oh, what the fuck? That was easy.
Come on, cuz! Hands on the screen, baby!
I heard that on the radio. That's the only reason why I asked.
Sean got it right with me. Iggy. The JJ Redick, I remember, I think it was the podcast he did, his podcast that he did with Joel Embiid, or maybe the one with Jimmy. One of the ones I was listening, and one of the stats that came across was that JJ was the number one, that what you were getting at. So that was like a year or 2 ago, and that stuck with me. But the Iggy one I remember because I used to play NBA Live 2005, and it had the dunk contest. And I was so hyped about using Iguodala in that I made a song. I made a song about, oh my God, I made a song about the Sixers in that NBA Live 2005 game. I made like my own little song. It was about Iverson and Iguodala and Corvus. I forget what it is, but if I remember it, I promise I'll perform it live right on the show. It was a good song. You know, I come up with bangers.
I'll perform it live right on the show.
But you got to come with some better trivia, because every trivia and riddle you tried to get me on so far, you have not stumped me. So now Tom's going to go and find out, say, who has 8,762 career rushing yards? And
no, I got another trick. You want one more? I might have asked you this before, so you probably know it already.
Go ahead.
Was it this? Did I ask you who are the 4 players in NFL? Who are the only players in NFL history It happened 4 times in NFL
Mhm.
history that Super Bowl MVP wore the number 10.
Super Bowl MVP. You never asked me that. That I'm not going to get all four. I can guarantee you that. Um, number 10. Honestly, honestly, that I don't know. Nobody's even popping up in my head. I was thinking Tyreek Hill, but I think Mahomes won it that year. Number 10. I can't. I'm drawing a blank on quarterbacks.
So it only happened 3 times, not four. I'm sorry.
See, you don't even know your own trivia
No,
questions, Tom, and you're trying
it,
to
ha-
ask me.
it happened 3 times in NFL history that the number 10 has won the Super Bowl MVP. Can you name the 3 times?
Can I get a hint? Let me get some hints, Tom. Come on. Give me something. Throw me a
Only
bone.
only 2 players.
That's great. Can I
Think
get an
outside the
actual
box.
hint? Think outside the box.
The one player you constantly talk about. So you don't talk about this specific player, but you always talk about this team when we talk about another team. When we talk about the Patriots.
I talk about that team when we talk about the Patriots.
Yeah, when we talk about the Patriots and who they lost to in the NFC East.
I'm picking up what you're putting down. Okay, so we know that one. But who's the other one then?
Talk about an immaculate catch.
Okay. So is it Eli and well, it's definitely Eli,
He
but
won it twice.
it's Eli. Who's the other one?
San Antonio Holmes.
Santonio Holmes. And no. What it was the Santonio Holmes question I had asked you guys who was the Super Bowl MVP of the Cardinals and Steelers game. Damn. All right, that was a good one. That was a good one, Tommy. You got me stumped. All right. So before we jump full fledged into the NFL, I wanted to ask you something. It's been floating around social media for the last couple days, and some of the answers got me going crazy. But I'm going to give you a scenario. Oldest scenario in the book, Tom. Start, bench, cut. NBA edition. I want you to start one. I want you to bench one. I want you to cut one. Jason Tatum, Luka Doncic, and Giannis Antetokounmpo. Start one, bench one, cut one. Go.
Hmm. Uh,
Who's getting a start? Tatum, Luka, or
Tatum's
Giannis?
getting cut.
Now, wait. Is he getting cut because you believe he's the least of the three, or
I
is
think he's
or
the
is he
least.
cut because
Yes,
he's wearing
I
green?
don't care about the Boston Celtics thing. I think he's the least. I think Luca and both Luca and Giannis are better than Jason Tatum.
So there's an argument. One of the consistent arguments I
And
seen
I don't
was
cutting. I mean, benching is starting. I'm probably going to start Giannis.
okay. One of the big arguments I seen was nobody really cut Giannis. Giannis was the one that was kind of safe from being cut in most of the things that I seen, and it came down to Tatum and Luka. And a big argument was that Tatum and Luka offensively are on the same level, which I do agree with. To where defensively Tatum plays, but Luka doesn't play great defense. So that was the argument for cutting Luka and keeping Tatum. You
I
know,
mean, offensively, are they really on the same level? Or maybe when it comes to points per game or points scored, but when it comes to assists and rebounds, who's the better player? So Luca's going to help his team score more points than Jason Tatum. That's just my opinion.
I mean, Tatum definitely has more help around him. So what I mean by that, he has more help, so he got more people to take shots to where Luka's the offense there. They're living and dying through Luka, but I don't know. That's a tough one. That is a tough one. I think I'm starting Giannis. I think Giannis is clear cut the best of the three. I think I'm benching Tatum. I'm cutting Luka. I could be wrong. I could be way off base. But I hate that he wears the green, and that would be the reason I eliminate him. But I do like Jason Tatum a little bit more than Luca. Um, all right, and then jumping over to the let me see right here. I want to pop this up real quick. Jumping over to the Pro Bowls. The rosters were released. Did you get a chance to look at any of the rosters, Tom?
I did.
Okay, so
We're going to talk
oh,
about who got snubbed.
you listen. Let's jump right into it. Who do you see? Who did you not see that you would like to see earn a Pro Bowl vote?
All right, two things. CMC got snubbed.
So if he got snubbed, I want to know who you're taking out. Because for the NFC, McCaffrey did not make it, but Saquon Barkley, Tony Pollard, and Miles Sanders did make it. Who are you taking out if he has to make it? Because as a running back, Miles has more rushing yards and more touchdowns than C-Mac.
Correct, but we know who the better we know who the dual threat is. So it's either, look, Saquon's safe. The only it comes down to either taking Miles out or Tony Pollard, but they're both having great years. So I just think I don't fuck. That's a hell of a
Who
question.
you eliminating? You gotta cut one time.
Probably Miles Sanders.
Oof. Okay.
And that's just because he's having a phenomenal year. We know who the better running back is, but I don't know. I'm not going to say nothing bad about Miles because I really can't, other than literally the only negative thing I can possibly say about him is maybe he needs to hold on to the ball.
His fumble and woes have been corrected.
Exactly, and maybe he dances too much. I don't know. Like more east-west and north-south, but I mean, I just think CMC should have been on there. And then also, who the hell the fuck? Well, actually, I can see because you got Mahomes, Allen, and Joe Burrow. They're all three of them are light years better than Tua, but Tua's having a great year, so I guess
that was who I had looking at an initial snub was Tua. But then you do look at who do you take out? Is it Allen? Is it Mahomes? Is it Burrow? Tua, I think Tua being out was a snub 2-3 weeks ago. I think that the last 3 weeks Tua's lost games, and he hasn't looked particularly great in them. He lost a head-to-head matchup with Brock Purdy. And I mean, as much as I thought initially it was a snub, I don't see it as much of a snub now, based on the fact that there's 8-6. I think he is. I'm pretty sure he is.
Well, if he's a reserve quarterback, he's gonna be playing in the Pro Bowl because Joe Burrow is gonna be playing in the Super Bowl. So
Derek said he's not.
I don't give a fuck what Derek says.
Derek said Joe Burrow ain't playing past week 1, and your ass is going to be playing in spandex. I'm just.
But I also want to know how the fuck. Give me a list of NFC quarterbacks real quick, Rye. Matter of fact,
you want the starters?
You don't even have to, brother. I'm going to do it myself by conference. So I'm going to go with Jalen Hurts, Kirk Cousins, Brock Purdy, Dak Prescott, Daniel Jones, Tyler Heineke, Geno Smith, Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, a committee in Carolina, a committee in New Orleans. Well, it's
Dalton,
Arizona, LA, Chicago. I'm just trying to think of another quarterback that I would put over Geno Smith.
You don't like Geno Smith being there?
Not Geno, he's number 2 right now. I see.
I mean, he's in there. So honestly, when you go down the list of NFC quarterbacks, there's not another one that belongs there over Geno. Not Daniel Jones, not Brock Purdy.
Goff might be the only other.
Jared Goff is the one. Jared Goff is a snub. Jared Goff is the one that Geno Smith did. All right, so Jared Goff and Geno Smith have kind of the same argument as to where the first 7 games of the season, Geno Smith was immaculate, right? To where the last couple games he hasn't been as good. The first 7 games of the season, Jared Goff was not that great, but the last 7 he's been amazing. So I would say when you got somebody that was really good in the beginning but is on a downward slope, and then you got someone that kind of was a little bit behind but has brought it up and has played as one of the better quarterbacks consistently for the last 6, 7, 8 weeks, you got to give that. So I do have Jared Goff down as one of my snubs. I think that he should be in there, not over Kirk, because Kirk has the numbers to back it up. Kirk has an 11-3 record. Not over Jalen. but he should be in there over Geno. Again, simply because Geno's fell off.
Yeah, absolutely. But I can see why. I guess because Geno has the better record by a game. Geno has a few more yards. He has a few more touchdown passes, and they have the same amount. Or I think they Geno might have one more interception. So I guess the stats and the record favor the record.
Geno
But
doesn't have more wins. They're both 7-7.
the build the oh
Yeah,
shit.
cause
Yeah, you're
yeah,
right.
cause the Lions been
I thought
fucking
they were
roaring and they
6-8.
caught
I
up.
apologize.
Nope, they're
So I'm
seven and
guessing
seven. Put some respect on their name.
you're right. So I'm just going to assume that it's because of the 26 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, and then what is Geno doing rushing? The 281 rushing yards, which is and one rushing touchdown. I mean, I guess it's flip a coin.
It's a story. It is. It's a story. Geno was the good story coming in, but
Comeback player of
now
the year makes the Pro Bowl. I mean, he already has that locked up. So
what? Comeback
comeback
player of
player
the
of the year.
year? I don't know. Not anymore. I wouldn't say. I think that he's probably still the favorite, but you can't say you got it locked up anymore. Not at this point. This dude is. I mean, again, great story to start the season.
Hey, he's going to throw for
But
4,000 yards and 30 touchdowns. That's the only reason why he's going to get it.
I want to look at the odds. Honestly, Christian McCaffrey is second. Jared Goff is tied for second with McCaffrey. So right now it looks like a three-dog race between Geno Smith, McCaffrey, and Jared Goff. And I'm
What's
telling you
Geno's
right
odds?
now, plus 100. Jared Goff and C-Mac are plus 225. And this is on DraftKings. I'll tell you, if this continues and the Lions wind up jumping the Seahawks, Geno Smith doesn't win comeback player of the year. Jared Goff wins comeback player of the year at that point because you can't give it to somebody that. And again, Goff wasn't Goff. I think Goff did get injured last year, nothing serious like uh, Geno did. Or no, Geno wasn't injured last year either, was he?
No, Geno just didn't start last year. He didn't play.
Yeah, and Goff sucked. Nah, hell no. Listen, if Seattle continues to crumble and the Lions get in, Geno loses that award, and that's going to go to Goff or it goes to CMC.
Yeah, because they were Christian McCaffrey. Or Saquon. I mean, I don't know where's Saquon's odds at.
Saquon's like plus 2,500,
Choo.
2,200. Derrick Henry's plus 25 or plus 5,000.
When did
So those odds are
Derrick Henry got hurt last year?
that was the year that he got banged up. Now watch Jonathan Taylor's I'm gonna take an off season bet on Jonathan Taylor to win comeback player of the year next year.
Absolutely.
See what the odds are going to be. All right, so a snub that I have that I took notice of, James Bradbury, his numbers of yards allowed per attempt, number one in the league. As far as outside cornerbacks who have more than 250 attempts, he's been one of the best outside corners in the league all year. And the guy that he's honestly numbers. If you're just looking at, going for the interceptions, sure. I mean, listen, he got a pick six this year. He got some interceptions. I know that Diggs is having a okay year, but Diggs gets the fuck beat a lot. That's the big difference. I think Bradbury should be in over Trayvon Diggs. Trayvon Diggs had the explosive year last season, and he's on the Cowboys, so he's now kind of a household name. And Bradbury was the guy that was just released by the New York Giants, who pretty much just decided we don't need this dude at all. And so I think that kind of dictates a lot of how you perceive the two of them going against each other. But I mean, as far as I'm not talking splash plays. As far as cornerback play, James Bradbury has been better than Trayvon Diggs all season, and he deserves to be there. And the same could be said for Javon Hargrave, who has 10 sacks. He's second amongst defensive tackles in pass rush win rate behind Chris Jones, who's in the conversation for defensive player of the year. And then there's one other person that's got a pass rush rate better than him, but the guy doesn't qualify because he hasn't met the allotted number of snaps, and that's Aaron Donald. So when the top three are Aaron Donald, Chris Jones, and Javon Hargrave, I feel like my boy Hargrave needs a little bit more respect on his name as a defensive tackle. So, and Bradbury, bro, Bradbury, yo, listen, Bradbury realistically could have conversations around him being a defensive player of the year. That's how good of a season he's having. And they don't even have this dude making a Pro Bowl. I honestly do. I think they got T.J. Watt making a Pro Bowl. This shit is just it's just at this point it's just a popularity contest.
It is.
Who else they got on here? Their receivers are nasty. Like Mark Andrews. Mark Andrews is a is the second tight end behind Kelsey. I'm not too sure how much Mark Andrews deserves to be in there between his injury and how he's actually been playing. Who else they got on here? TJ Watt. TJ Watt, he missed too much time this year for them to have this dude as a like that's just oh my god. I don't like it. I don't like it. Who else?
What's crazy though is like I'm looking now like the past defensive player of the years, and the last person in the secondary, so like your corner, like your defensive backs and your safeties. The last player to win defensive player of the year was Stephon Gilmore in 2019, right?
Yeah.
And then before that, it didn't happen again until 2010 with Troy Polamalu, and then before that again in 2007 with Bob Sanders, and then Ed Reed in 2004. Every other year, it's always in the front seven that wins. So it
Yeah.
seems like
Well,
with like
even
the MVP seems like it always favors like the quarterbacks, like the most valuable passer. Like the defensive year always favors like the front seven.
yeah,
So like your defensive tackles, ends, and your linebackers. The fan voting is 100% trash.
it is. I agree. I think that well, I don't the fan voting isn't the determining factor though, is it? Because the leading vote getter in the Pro Bowl, I think it was Tua. I'm pretty sure Tua got the most votes out of anybody, and he didn't make it. And then who else was it? There's an offensive lineman for the Ravens that got the
Yeah,
most votes for his.
Tyler Land. What's his name? Is it
Oh,
Tyler
I fucking know.
Landemar?
I just know because Sean was bitching about it, but he got the most votes at his position, and he didn't even make it. So
Landon Dickerson made it.
The Eagles' entire offensive line made it. 3 as starters, 2 as reserves.
Besides fucking Mailata and Siamalu.
So yeah, so I'm not here making a case that James Bradbury should be the defensive player of the year, but I do think he's earned a Pro Bowl spot. But also,
That's a
I
fact,
mean,
Sean.
we can't have everybody as BG should get some votes for comeback player of the year. Another great. I don't think he's gonna beat out the quarterbacks or beat out McCaffrey, but he should definitely be up there. Definitely be up there. My man's gonna go clip. He's about to set
Listen,
a career high in sacks, ain't he?
coming off a torn Achilles too. That's a serious fucking injury.
It is absolutely. That's another thing you got to take into account is what's the injury that they're coming off of. I just got a text message
From who?
that my neighbor from Kiera. Oh shit, he did text me. Someone texted me and said, "Yo, dude, are you home?" I didn't answer because I didn't see it. And then Kiera just texted me and said, Jonathan and his dad just came here and knocked on the door and asked for an egg.
An egg. They're definitely baking that cake. They're an egg short of that cake.
Bro, listen, I like them. I like the kid he plays with the boys, and his dad is cool as shit. Um yeah, that's funny as shit. Come knock on the door to borrow an egg. That's the
I
shit.
love
That's
how
the
they
shit.
say borrow an egg like they're going to give the egg back.
Yeah, right. I'm about to call him like, yo, cuz you got my egg? Like tomorrow morning, I'm gonna need that egg back. I can't make breakfast without that one egg. All right, so there's 2 rookies to make it. Sauce Gardner, Tariq Woolen. Um, quite. Did you looked at the whole roster, so you know some of the stubs. Give me somebody to look out for next year. Who's going to be on that? Pro Bowl next year. Give me one lock, Tom. I'm taking Justin Fields.
So you're going okay. I mean, I'm just gonna go Christian McCaffrey.
You could do it the pussy way, I'm sure.
Absolutely. All right, you're gonna go Justin Fields. All right. I'm gonna go. Hmm.
Hmm?
Wow.
McCaffrey's a good one, bro. It's all good. Take
No,
it the easy
now you got
way.
me fucked. Now. All right. I'm gonna come back to it. I'm gonna think about this throughout the show, though.
I'll give you a good one if you want it.
No, I don't want it. I don't even want you to tell me.
All right.
So
Because I'll take it.
You're looking at a young kid, possibly like a
Well, you know what?
guy.
Well, fuck you. Then you won't get mine. I'll give my NFC one, which is Justin Fields, and I'll give my AFC ones, which is Trevor Lawrence.
Okay.
All right. Speaking of Trevor Lawrence, Jacksonville Jaguars, who are sitting at 6-8, are heading to the New York Jets tonight in a couple minutes to take on, well, they're heading to the Meadowlands to take on the Jets. And they got a little weather issues there. It's looking like 35. It's going to be like 35 degrees real feel is what they said, with 20 to 25 mile per hour winds and 100% chance of rain with potential downpours at time. So it's not Fitz agrees with me. Trevor Lawrence, Fitzy, my guy, you are a smart man, much smarter than Tom. That's my boy. Herbert. There you go. There you go. I think Herbert's a very good option. But they're gonna have terrible weather. It's gonna be cold, it's gonna be windy, and it's gonna be raining. So
Yeah,
I don't see much for. Oh, thank you. I haven't checked my lineup, and you and I are
No,
playing
you're good. You're
against.
still projected to win. There's nobody. I just need Jerick McKinnon to fucking not have a 30-point game.
Oh, McKinnon's gonna blow up
That you're
once
finally
again.
out of nowhere putting them in.
Well, look what he did last week.
The
He's
last
scared.
2 weeks.
Yeah, I know, but look at what he did last week. Well, no, yeah, he's blown up. Listen, I've been getting great performances out of nobodies. I mean, Evan Ingram, when I needed him, he stepped up and gave me 40. Jerick McKinnon stepped up. He gave me, even though I benched him, he stepped up and gave, what did he give last week? 34, and then the week before, 32. Yeah, McKinnon's going to be in the starting lineup this week, Tom. You're going down. For those watching, me and Tom are playing in the conference championship in his fantasy football league that I have won more than anybody, that I have appeared in more championships than anybody, and one that Tom has.
Right here, brother. You won it twice.
I did not win your league twice.
I'm looking at it right now.
I won the first or second year that we were in.
You won back to back.
Yeah, and I won more than just back to back. I've won it 3 times.
I have Amanda last year, Ray in 2020, Tavon in 2019, Rob in 2018, Tavon in 2017, Ryan in 2016, Ryan in 2015, and Derek
Ryan in 2012 or 2013.
I don't have 2013, so it had to be
because I won it. No, it was this, bro. You started the tip of this when we worked at T-Mobile. That was 2012, 2013.
I don't know.
That's the year I won it. That was the first year.
I'm looking at the league history right now, good brother, and it says I started this league in 2014.
There's no shot.
I'm telling you,
no shot.
One is hot.
Matter of fact,
hot boys.
I'll tell you how I know you're wrong, Tom. Because
I could be wrong, but I'm going by.
You are.
What
I'm gonna tell you.
ESPN says, brother.
Listen, fuck your app. I'm gonna tell you why you're wrong. Because when I first started working for T-Mobile in 2013, it was around Christmas time. I went through some tough shit with my situation, my living situation. Me and a girlfriend broke up. I was scrounging up pennies to get back and forth to work. And I won your league and I won Frankie D's league. And it bought me fucking, I went and bought a car with it. Believe me, I remember, brother. Because there's no way. Because I lived in the because I won before when I fucking lost to John in that conference championship that we always talk about. I won
Listen,
the year before that.
in 2014, the biggest
Oh, yeah.
blowout was Ryan 139, Sabatino 57.
Ooh, that was the year. That was the year I had Brandon Marshall. I had Calvin Johnson. Oof.
I'm trying to
That
look
was
at
it.
it.
Did I win that year?
No, Derek did.
I'm telling you, Tom, I won your league
You
three
didn't even finish
times.
top three that year. Well, in third you finished.
That's bullshit then. Then that's not the right one because the year that I'm talking about, I worked in the Chamonix. I traded for Brandon Marshall, and everyone in that league bitched and bitched and bitched. Josh did, Rob did. Everyone bitched and bitched and bitched and said, "How the fuck did this dude get Brandon Marshall for what he got him for?" I remember them crying about me getting Brandon Marshall, and it wasn't even. It was a good ass trade. Tom, you're lying on my name. 3 championships I have in your league. 3. And I have four appearances because I lost two. I lost to Rob. Because me and Rob went back. I went back to back and I won one and lost one. And
This is
then I
the
went
league
back to
when your
back and
brother and
won two.
this is the league when your brother and fucking Ray split a team.
You remember that shit? That was terrible. All right. So Jags and Jets, Trevor Lawrence against Zach Wilson. Should be kicking off here in a minute. Who do you got winning this game, Tom?
Uh my heart says the Jags, but my gut is saying the Jets. So I'm gonna go with the defense. I'm gonna go with the New York Jets.
Oh my God. See what I'm talking about, Tom? I did need to check my fucking roster because I got Evan Ingram in and I wanted Darren Waller's off the IR and now he's on the bench. Motherfucker.
Did you?
Yeah, bro.
Darren Waller ain't gonna do shit this week.
He got a better chance to fucking do something than Evan Ingram in this fucking weather that we're about to get. If you win over that, bro, I'm slapping you right in your fucking bald head.
Put in Cole Kmet.
I don't want Cole. I can't.
Oh,
Evan
you
Ingram
can't
is
take
locked
Evan
now.
Ingram out. That's gay.
All right, so should be a defensive battle, low scoring
Nope.
game. Up,
I have
huh?
Travis Etienne, brother.
We'll see. Yeah, and it's a running game. All right, I'm leaning. Who are you taking?
The Jets.
You're taking the Jets? Yeah, I'm leaning towards the Jets too, honestly. I'm leaning towards the Jets because I'm leaning towards the Jets because the Jaguars got a really numbers wise, they got a really good offense, but their defense is dog shit. And I think that the Jets offense moving against the Lions, the Jags defense has a little bit of a better chance at working in this weather than the Jags moving the ball against the Jets defense. So I'm going to lean Jets too. Derek's going to get the Jags because that's his team, and we know he's going to back them at all times.
He said I just texted him. He said the Jags anyway.
All right, bet. So we got that. All right, and then Saturday, Christmas Eve. There's a little bit of a damper in the game. Jalen Hurts is not going to be playing, but we get Gardner Minshew, and Gardner is going to lead us to the promised lands. He gets his boy Dallas Goddard back this week, and it's going to be an emotional game for Gardner. His college coach, Mike Leach, passed away. He did miss Tuesday's walkthrough. He was at the funeral speaking. But I feel like, and I don't like to bring that in as a reason why a player is going to have a good game, but we've seen Gardner Minshew before. He's a very emotional character, and that could be the spark. That could fuel a spark that we need for him to lead us to a dub. Tom, give me something. How can Gardner Minshew guide the Eagles to an NFC East title now that Hurts is out?
He's going against a pretty good defense, so he just got to play poise, calm, cool, collective. Be the Gardner we know. The same Garner last year that won and had that moment with his dad. That's the same Garner we need. Don't turn the ball over and just follow with the offensive plan. Um, it's going to come down to our defense. Man, I mean, I think we're going to. I think even with Garner, we're going to be able to put up some points. I think we're going to run the ball, but I do still think we're going to pass the ball heavy this game because I think that like Nick's going to go in and think like Dallas thinks like Dallas is going to expect us to be a run heavy team, and I think Nick's going to come out and be a pass heavy and it's going to be a pass heavy game, but with a lot of running mixed in. Um, I do think Gardner gets it done though. I don't think Dallas is anything special, in my opinion.
Yeah, so I understand the mindset why what you're thinking as far as that, and Sirianni has showed to be aggressive and kind of fall in love with the pass at times. I don't think the last time Gardner Minshew started the game, we were there. That was last year when we went to the Jets game in New York for Rob's birthday, and Gardner played good, and he did. He came out, and he punched the Jets in the face early, but that Jets defense is not the same Jets defense we see now, and it's not the Dallas Cowboys defense. So I do want to see Gardner Minshew get his chance to sling the rock. I don't want them to be reserved and just throw the ball, 15 or 20 times. But I'm very much expecting Miles Sanders to get a lot of touches early. I'm expecting Gainwell to get some short passes, Boston Scott to get involved. Dallas Goedert's going to have a big day. I think the backfield and the tight ends could potentially have a bigger day than, let's say Devontae Smith or AJ Brown. And even more so, I think Devontae Smith's going to go. I think they got a chance to go off here, and there's a chance Trayvon Diggs might not play. So if that happens, they're already down another corner. Anthony Brown's done for the season. They're down an offensive lineman done for the season. They got some holes. There's some vulnerabilities there. I understand that we are not, we're without the MVP frontrunner at the time of his injury, Jalen Hurts, but we still got a squad. And it's like a double-edged sword for us Philly fans, Tom. You know why? Because it's like if we win, we get to turn around and tell Dallas, hey, go fuck yourself. You all you said was, oh, we only beat you because of your backup quarterback. Well, now we have our backup quarterback and we beat your ass. But then that gives dudes like Michael Parsons and Chris Sims ammunition and validation for the dumb shit that they say. To where on the other hand, it's like if we lose, then it's like, all right, well, like there's going to be a whole nother argument if we lose, and it's just like it's a lose-lose situation for us, but I think our boys got a good chance. What's the matchup you're keeping your eye on this game?
Listen, nobody gives a fuck about Micah Parsons and his system, and nobody gives a fuck about what that clown Chris Sims wants to say. Like Jason Kelsey would say they can go fuck themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Give
but
me the matchup you're
matchup
keeping your eye on, because there's one for me
for the Eagles,
for the whole game.
Dallas
One
got it.
matchup. Dallas Goedert. Okay, so you got Dallas Goedert going against the linebackers and pass coverage of the Cowboys. I
Yep.
got I got Lane or Mailata, whatever side he decides to line up on, versus Micah. With a one, that would be my 1A. My 1B would be if Trayvon Diggs plays Diggs versus Brown and Diggs versus Devontae Smith.
It's
Because
like we in the first matchup we already seen Lane was bullying Micah Parsons,
yep.
bullying. Um, and then we made a bunch of plays where Lane didn't even block him. He blocked down and let Micah just open the game up, let him come in, and Jalen just made him look silly. And then Lane goes out, and that's when Mikey got his pressure. So we already seen that matchup. I like you said, I want to see it again, but I do think Lane it gets the better end. I think Lane's. I'm not going to say. I don't know how to word it, but like this might sound wrong, but Lane's the better right tackle than Mike is the better outside linebacker. If that makes sense.
So Lane is better at his position than Mike is at his,
Yes.
pretty much. Okay, I get what you're saying. Now, I think they're both number one at their respective positions, but Lane has been doing it longer. Lane is the one that's gone almost 1,000 passing snaps without allowing a sack. Lane don't take games off. Micah has a couple games or even halves where he's been not productive. Lane has literally been productive for 1,000 straight snaps when it comes to the pass game. Nobody touches his quarterback. Even in the run game, he's an animal. So I definitely get what you're getting there. If the Eagles pull this game out, and next week's game versus New Orleans means nothing for seeding, but it could help Hurts win the MVP and it could help us with our draft pick. Are you starting Jalen Hurts? If the number one seed is locked up going into the game against New Orleans, are you starting Jalen Hurts?
No, and I don't think Jalen. I don't really give. I guess I'm more so could give two fucks about Jalen winning MVP.
Yeah, I'm
More
off that
so,
ship.
more so. I mean, Jalen doesn't even want. Jaden doesn't even care if he wins MVP or not.
Yeah.
There's only
Yeah.
one. There's one trophy that every player wants, and it's the
Yep.
Lombardi.
So this is where now I think people are being a little more cautious this time around because last time we had a quarterback go down in the final 3 or 4 games of the season when they were only had one loss and they were projected as the best team in the league was Carson Wentz. And when he went down and he lost his chance at MVP, they all talk shit on our boys. The boys rallied with a backup quarterback. They went and won a Super Bowl, and they've had to hear our fucking mouths for the last 5 years. So this time around, I don't hear the same. Oh, the Eagles are done. The Eagles are done. Like, and maybe it's because it's not a torn ACL; it's a sprained shoulder. So we're kind of expecting Hurts back, but still, it's like I don't hear like nobody's chirping about the Eagles losing the 1 seed now that Hurts might not play the rest of the regular season. Nobody's chirping and saying that the Eagles are just going to lose to Dallas. Like this team is solid. So as much as Jalen Hurts has been carrying the torch for us, I mean the team is solid, and Minshew is built. Minshew is he's another Foles, bro. He's built for this moment. He's built to come in, give you a good game. I mean, he could be a starter on some of these teams. You can't tell me that dude couldn't go to Pittsburgh and start over
Oh,
Kenny Pickett
100%.
or Mitch Trubisky. You can't tell me that he can't go to Houston or Carolina and start. Like this dude got some talent. My last question for you: who has the bigger game, Miles Sanders or AJ Brown?
Miles Sanders.
You think Sanders is going to get it going against that uh that rush D they got there in Big D?
Yeah, I'm more. Our offensive line is better than our defensive line.
Agree. All right, so I want to just mark us all three down as Eagles. I don't think any of us are going against the Birds. And let's jump into the Buffalo Bills sitting at 11-3, traveling to Chicago to take on the 3-11 Bears. The Bills open up as a 9-point favorite on the road in a game they need to keep the lead as the AFC 1 seed. And it's looking like weather's going to play a factor in this game as well. Chicago is calling for a 12-degree day with cloudy skies, leftover snow, and 30-mile-per-hour winds. So coming into this game, whenever they play, it's expected that both of these quarterbacks are going to do some damage on the ground. As Josh Allen and Justin Fields are two of the best running quarterbacks in the game. But when you add the frigid temperatures and the swirling winds, that could be amplified. I don't see a lot of throwing going on in this game. But now I do think that those winds are going to play a factor in, Justin Fields' game. He's going to have to rely a little more on his legs. Josh Allen got a cannon. And if anybody could slice a ball through that wind, it's Josh Allen. And Chicago's secondary is not that good. We just seen it last week. Stephon Diggs has struggled the last 2 games. He hasn't found the end zone since week 13. And if Buffalo decides to put the ball in the air that game, I'm expecting Josh to show Diggs and Gabe Davis some love. Again, as they go against a secondary that just got lit up by A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. I'm expecting a dub by Buffalo, but I'm not really sure how much due to the weather and not really knowing how much of a factor that's going to play. And I had a question for Derek, and I kind of knew his answer. My question for Derek was: is Buffalo the favorite to win the 1 seed in the AFC? And I think I know his answer. His answer, if it's not yes, it would be no, but it's the Kansas City Chiefs. And I feel like I know your answer for the AFC favorite. So I'm going to jump to one other thing. Can Justin Fields do enough on the ground? Or just in general, Tom, can Justin Fields do enough to keep Chicago in the game?
Yeah, I mean, Buffalo's starting to get healthy. I mean, Tre'Davious White came back. Um, they are starting to get healthy on defense, but it seems like I don't know if they have the full chemistry yet. I don't know. They didn't look. I mean, Miami's offense is so much better than Chicago. Miami was going down the. I mean, they stuck with them the entire game pretty much. But I'm not going to compare Chicago's offense. But I mean, Chicago being home, the weather. I mean, it's not an advantage to anybody. I mean, Josh Allen plays in that weather up in Buffalo.
Yep.
He might even play in worse weather in Buffalo, knowing that they get a lot more snow. I do think that Justin Fields can keep them in the game up into probably like the fourth quarter where Josh Allen will probably pull away from the game. I do think the Bills win. Um, I think I don't even think Justin Fields should be playing, especially after last week. I mean, they lost their state. I mean, obviously you're most likely going to start your offensive line because you want to protect who's ever behind the offensive line.
Mm-hmm.
Um, a lot of teams don't have stud backup offensive linemen; they have serviceable backup offensive linemen. But yeah, I probably wouldn't if I was the coach or if I was the GM or the owner of Chicago Bears, I would shut Justin Fields down for the year. What's the point of risking
I'm
an
not.
injury to your franchise quarterback? But I get why they want him to play. They get the feel of the game more. They get the chemistry. But how can he get any chemistry when he's throwing to nobodies? Like I don't even know who he's throwing the ball to with Mooney and Claypool out. Cole
Yeah,
Kmet.
I think Mooney's going to be on his way out. I think Claypool's going to stay just based off of what they gave for him, which is a second round pick, which is now going to be a top what? It's going to be like a top 35 pick. Pittsburgh won that deal 10 times over. But yeah, I don't know. I would probably shut him down too, to be completely honest. Here's another question: who's going to have the bigger rushing day, Justin Fields or Josh Allen? And by bigger, I don't just mean more yards because I think that's going to go to Fields regardless. But Josh Allen gets a lot of goal line touches, so you could to where Fields might break one and jump and grab a touchdown. Shit, Josh could get him down there and grab two himself. Who do you think has a bigger rushing impact on the day?
Uh, it's a hell of a question. All around, probably Josh Allen. But
Okay,
you're also going to see a big game out. You're also going to see a big game out of Dawson Knox too.
you think so? Why do
You're
you think? Why do you think Knox is going off?
have you seen his targets recently?
What are they?
So against the Dolphins, I'm pulling it up now because I just had it and I got the notification about um Travis Etienne's in the red zone. Dawson Knox
Mm,
had 6 catches, 98 yards on 8 targets, and the 2 targets he dropped. He literally dropped 2 passes. So he
mm.
would have had eight if he would have had 8 catches for over 100 yards against the Dolphins, and then against the Jets, he had 4 catches, 41 yards, 1 touchdown on 7 targets. So the boy's getting his targets
He is. He's getting
for a
some
tight end.
action.
So I'm fine with him getting 6+ targets and catching the ball. I mean, I need another 98-yard game out of him with a touchdown.
Is that
Look,
to beat me?
my only goal against you, Rye, is I need because you got 2 players. You got Justin Fields and Keenan Allen going on Monday night.
I don't have feel.
Justin
Herbert.
Herbert. Justin Herbert. I'm sorry. I need to be up at least 40+ points before Monday night. That's my goal. The only way I have a shot at winning.
Yeah, but Herbert put up they put up a combined like 12 points last week, bro.
I know, but it's just
They're not
it
world
only takes
beaters.
1 week, bro. You know that.
It does. Listen, I'm looking at it like this. You're in 4 other leagues that you're about to potentially win a championship in. I've already split the championship pot in your other league. I'm looking to win the championship pot in this league. Let me have this and you go win the other leagues and everybody goes home happy.
I mean, Evan
Stop
Ingram
it.
already got you 4 points.
For real? Oh, see, genius right here, cuz I told you, fucking Darren Waller. What I need Darren Waller for? All right, we're all on the side of Buffalo. Tom, take it away. Your Cincinnati Bengals are on the clock.
The Bengals are heading to New England after a fucking massacre from the Patriots last week. Who the hell knows how this team's going to bounce back? Who knows what Bill Belichick said? Who knows what's going through Mac Jones? He still might have nightmares of Chandler Jones and that stiff arm for all we know.
That
We
was
don't
me.
know what's happening. Jacoby Myers might still might be having nightmares. Well, I know the Bengals are going. The Bengals are coming off a 6-game winning streak. The horrific loss in New England last week. New England has now lost 3 of its last 4 games. The
Mm,
Bengals hold a 1-game lead over Baltimore. The biggest thing is the Bengals offense, I believe, right now is ranked 10th in the NFL. Going against the New England defense, I believe, is ranked 6th. You could quote me wrong because I don't think I got them from PFF.
Oh, I will. Keep going. Go ahead. I
The
got you.
difference is the Bengals have lost 7 straight games against New England. 7 straight. So they don't have a great track record against New England. And New England dominates the NFC North teams, being in the last 20 games. Obviously, this is a lot with Tom Brady, but the Patriots are 17-3 in their last 20 games against the NFC North
AFC.
or AFC North.
Damn.
All I know is,
Seriously?
yeah, Jamar Chase is healthy. T. Higgins is back. Tyler Boyd's back. Joe Mixon's back. Joey Cool, who's making a run for the league MVP, who's coming up hot. The Bengals are going into Foxborough, and they're coming out with a victory. Score is going to be Bengals 34, Pats 24.
Okay. All right. I don't got a score for you, but I'm leaning with you. I'm leaning with you. I'm gonna take Cincy too. I think we should just take. We shouldn't even ask them, just because of the disrespect that
Yeah,
Derek has given the Bengals over the course of this podcast. He should automatically be linked with the New England Patriots, Tom. And I will give you that option. Do you want to let him choose, or are you giving him the Patriots?
I'm gonna let him choose because he's still gonna choose the New England Patriots because of the bet that we have.
All right, find out from him who he's taking. And we are all on the side of the Bengals as far as me and you. I think that the Bengals are think that the Bengals I have them as just a little sneak peek. I'm pretty sure I have them as my top AFC team still coming this week, just like I did last week. And man, I just don't.
The Pats.
The one thing about the Pats was always like, okay, they may stink, but at least they're going to play smart. At least they are coached well. And now I don't even got that. I can't even fall back on saying that they're coached well. Because as good as Belichick is, I mean, I know that he didn't make fucking Jacoby Myers do that, but man, I'm not backing the Pats. I can't do it. I can't do it. All right. This was a game that Derek was supposed to be highlighting. It's the New York Giants, the New York Football Giants. Football Giants. You got to make sure that you put that in there. Traveling to Minnesota to take on the Vikings. Giants are coming off a dub in Washington, and the Vikings are coming off a dub. Did the Vikings win that? Yeah, who did the Vikings just
They
play
came back
last
and beat
week?
the
The
Colts.
Colts. That was that comeback game against the Colts. Give me a little preview. Who are you looking at? Because this is a good matchup as far as like mediocre. I was stuck in between saying mediocre and mediocrity, but between mediocre defenses and great running backs. But obviously, I'm giving the offensive edge to Minnesota because of all the weapons, because of the fact that their second best wide receiver, Adam Thielen, is probably a number one receiver on the Giants. Shit, their number three receiver, Osborne, is
Yeah, Osborne.
probably a number one or close to a number one on the Giants. And of course, Justin Jefferson is just a dog. Stephon Watts said, "That beard is majestic, Tom.
When
He loves
Stephon
your
when,
beard, brother."
when Stephon Watts or Stefan or whatever his name is decides he wants to unblock me on Facebook, then we can talk.
Watch, you got my man blocked on Facebook. What
Literally,
is
I've
going
never
on
said
here?
a negative word to him, and he has me blocked on Facebook.
I've been blocked and unblocked a few times. I like Watts. Watts is my guy. Watts, I never met him, never got a chance to meet him all the times I've been in Boston, but he says, "I have you blocked?" I think it might have just been a rampage where he went through and blocked everyone in Sitbo, honestly, Tom. But all right, so New York Giants, Vikings. The Vikings don't need this game for the Vikings don't need this game in terms of winning the NFC North, although it is getting a little closer. The Lions are creeping up. They ain't going to win a division, but they're creeping up
The Vikings
to
already lost
where
the division, right? Yeah.
they did. They did, but I'm talking more or less catching. Well, no, I guess they won't. The Lions would have to grab that 7 seed. I don't know. I think the Vikings lose the 2 seed, drop down to the 3. I think the Lions climb above the Giants. I think they climb above the
They get the
Giants
sixth seed.
and the Commanders to get the 6th seed, and we get a round one matchup of the Vikings versus the Lions, and we
That'll
know
be
who's winning that matchup.
yeah, the Vikings.
Who do you got winning this matchup?
Minnesota Vikings. I got Kirk Cousins. You like that? Coming off a hot second half against Indy. He's gonna come out, probably shit the bed in the first half. Might even shit the bed and lose the fucking game because that's the Kirk Cousins I know. He might throw for fucking 8 interceptions. He might throw for 6 touchdowns. Who the fuck knows? But I need
I'd
Kirk
say,
Cousins to have a big game. I need Dalvin Cook to have a big game. But my player to Minnesota wins the game. My player to watch is Dalvin Cook.
you like Dalvin Cook going off in this game.
And Justin Jefferson's going to get his. I need
See,
Adam Thielen to be number one tomorrow, though.
I want to take this as, see, I just have a feeling, right? So here it is. I have a feeling the Giants are going to win this game. I don't. It's a gut feeling, but I don't trust Daniel Jones. So I'm very torn in between who to take. Is it Daniel Jones or is it Kirk Cousins? And I don't like either of them. But for the time being, I'm going to take the Vikings. And the reason why I say the time being, I may flip flop on this by game time, and I'll make sure that I let everybody know before the game starts, Tom. But I might flip flop. We'll have to get Derek's vote. Um, but that should be that's an important game for NFC playoff standings. So especially for the wild card race, it's like the Vikings are. Here's where the Vikings are in a weird position. They've already locked up their division, right? If they win, they help the Detroit Lions, a team that's in their division, just like you said to me last week about the Eagles with the Commanders and Giants and whatnot. But they lock it up. They already locked it up, and if they win, they're actually making the Lions' life easier. So Detroit fans are actually Vikings fans this week, no matter what, no matter how much the Detroit Lions fans hate the Minnesota Vikings. If you're a Detroit fan, you're wearing purple this weekend because you need the Vikings to beat the Giants. The Giants are the team that's right ahead of you, along with the Commanders. They are the team that you're going to be able to catch. You can't catch the Vikings. So you need the Vikings to win. But the Vikings, on the other hand, again, do you want to see the Giants or the Commanders, or do you want to see the Lions? I'd rather see the Giants and Commanders.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Thanks. Appreciate your acknowledgement, cuz. All right, speaking of the Lions, let's jump over to the Detroit Lions taking on the Carolina Panthers. Derek's on board with us too. Derek got the Vikings winning as well. And in the game of Bengals versus Patriots, as expected, Derek took the New England Patriots. And we have breaking news out of Sippo Land. Tom, you have been unblocked by one Stephon Watts. There you go, Tom. I'm like a peacemaker here. I'm just like in a subjective medium. I should get paid for this shit. I'm bringing sides together that don't work. Now, if somebody could go figure out from Sippo Land why Michael Frank still has me blocked, I have no idea. I don't even know what I said to that dude. I said some fucked up shit to that dude. He never blocked me. Then I dropped a diss track. I rapped and dropped a diss track, and I said a pretty banged up line. The line I said about him was pretty crazy, I would say, and he didn't block me off of that. And then just out of nowhere, I think it was he found out I was he found out that we have rental properties. And I was blocked after that. There was a point where he called me a slumlord. And I was like, a slumlord, bro? Do you even know anything about me? We are we have rental properties, but that doesn't make us slumlords. I actually think that I'm a pretty good fucking landlord. When my people have trouble, I don't heckle them for money. I don't bother them. Like, I'm very understanding. When shit needs to get fixed, it gets fixed on time. To where this dude is selling cars at a used car dealership and marking up prices on everybody, including close friends and family. So one of us are the scumbag, Thomas, but it's not me. All right, let's jump in. Let's jump back. Got a little sidetracked, but let's jump back into the Detroit Lions. My my newly proclaimed second favorite NFC team, the Detroit Lions. Lion. Who do you think? Before I get into matter of fact, no, I want you to have all the information you need to make your decision. Even though this is a pretty easy one, Tom. The Lions have won 6 of their last 7 games, and they're half game behind Washington in a race for the final wild card spot. In Carolina, they lost to Pittsburgh last week. Technically, somehow, they still control their playoff destiny. I really don't see how that could be, but it is. If the Panthers win out, they'll win the NFC South title, and they will host a playoff game in January with a losing record. And I'm about to say something that this is not a test. This is not a joke. Jared Goff is the engine that makes the Detroit Lions go. And who would have thought those words would be coming out of my mouth when talking about a Week 16 Lions team that has a great chance to now make the playoffs? He's been poised. He's been accurate. He protects the ball. What more can you ask of a dude who most people thought was just going to be dead weight in Detroit? Somebody that gets shipped to Detroit. He has a bad season or two. He becomes a backup. He takes the Carson Wentz route, and then everyone forgets about Jared Goff. And he said, fuck that. That's not how this ship is going down. This is a good team, and I'm going to make my case that I could be the starting quarterback for this team for a long time. They have playmakers around him in the backfield. They got playmakers around him in the wide receiver room. The defense is beginning to take form, and the coaching staff seems like they finally figured out the situation in Detroit. At least that's what it seems like. The Panthers team, it may still have a false sense of hope in regards to winning its division, being that all the other teams in the NFC South are cheeks, but the Lions should put an end to all that noise this week. I'm expecting a dub by the Lions. What side of the fence are you falling on, Tom?
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm going with
Better be.
Amon St. Brown and the Detroit Lions.
Yes, sir. If you were on any other side, me and you were rumbling, just so you know. Just so you know. Don't pick against my Lions.
DeAndre Swift.
Swift, baby. All right. Now, this game you chose. For those that don't know, we break it down by we each got to break down 3 games each week, and then the other games we break down as a trio, right? So we each get to pick our games this week. And Tom picked this game before knowing the storyline that wound up coming out of it, which is the Monday Night Football matchup between the Chargers and the Colts. Tom, take it away, cuz.
Big Dick Nick. He's back.
Nicky Foles, baby.
Nicky Foles. Chargers are coming on a 2-game winning streak, finally on a winning streak, beating Miami and Tennessee. They finally got a healthy wide receiving core with Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, and Rise Boy Joshua Palmer. The Colts put Jonathan Tao on the IR. He got hurt last week against Minnesota, and that was in the beginning of the game. And what's crazy is the Colts still put up 33 points without their best player on the field. Mm-hmm. Matt Ryan gets hurt, which we all know Jeff Saturday benched his bum ass after that fucking 33-0 comeback. Nicky Foles is getting the start. The Chargers have posted the second highest passing play percentage in the NFL at 66.7% and averaged 274 yards through the air per game. And the Indianapolis Colts just got torched for 460 passing yards and 4 touchdowns, where if my memory is right, almost 400 of that 460 and all 4 touchdowns came in 30 minutes and 2 quarters of the game. The Colts have completely fell apart. The Colts are playing for nothing. Jeff Saturday at this point is honestly just trying to keep his job as the next head coach of the Colts, which being up 33-0 against Minnesota looked great for him. And then that immaculate failure might have just ruined everything. I don't think he has anything to prove solely because he has no talent on his team. Mm-hmm. I mean, Jonathan Taylor still hasn't been healthy for him. So, and they have, Michael Pittman Jr., I think he's good, but, they still have no quarterback.
Mhm.
My man Nick Foles, who won 41-33 against the New England Patriots. I do think he's coming up short this game. I think the Chargers are going to ride the hot hand, which Justin Herbert, my man Herbie, he's going to have a good game for Ryan Fantasy, unfortunately,
Mhm.
against that depleted Colts secondary. But watch out for Rye's boy Zaire Franklin.
That, he's
He's
a
still going to
beast.
be he's still going to be all over the field. Chargers are going to win this game. I think the score is going to be something like 27-13 Chargers.
Hmm. Not a bad score. Yeah, I want to. Part of me wants to take the Colts just because it's like what I mean. The Chargers have not only is it like I have so many things pulling me towards the Colts right now, right? I want the kid Zaire. I want him to do fucking great things. I want him to be the best linebacker in the league. I want him to get into the Pro Bowl. Anyone watching this, if you didn't vote Zaire Franklin to the Pro Bowl, you're an asshole because I've asked you all to do it. No, but and then you got Nick Foles as the quarterback, and it's like, all right, you guys are pulling at the heartstrings. I want Zaire to win. I want Foles to win. The emotions are bringing me in, but I can't back a team that blew a 33-point lead in a half. I'm gonna go Chargers too. I would not be surprised if the Colts fight. I would not be surprised if the Colts win. I would not be surprised if this is another game I change my mind on before Monday. But as of right now, I'm going to sit with the Chargers. I am. This is we're going to jump over into, and you grab Derek's. We'll jump over into another game that Derek was supposed to highlight for it. This was his game of the week to highlight. Um, just give me one moment. I'll pull up what we got here. This game is going to be the Seattle Seahawks at 7-7 visiting Arrowhead to take on the Chiefs, who sit at 11-3.
He took the Chargers.
And he took the Chargers. All right, let me mark them down. And this is where I say when I talk about the Detroit Lions making the playoffs, this isn't just an emotional me being like, okay, I was on the team early in the year, then they fell apart, and it looked really dumb that I backed them, and then they rally, and now it looks really good that I backed them, right? When I talk about them making the playoffs, it's not just because I want myself to look good because I picked them. It's because of shit like this. It's because of the fact that the Giants are playing the Vikings, the second best record in the NFC, right? It's the fact that the Washington Commanders just lost to the Giants, which knocked them down a game, right? And it's the fact that the Seattle Seahawks are playing a team like the Kansas City Chiefs. These are all three teams that are in front of the Detroit Lions. I'm expecting these teams to lose. And then the Commanders, not only did they lose last week, but they got the 49ers this week. The Lions we just talked about the Lions got the Panthers. So you got four teams fighting for two spots. Lions are taking on Carolina. The other three are taking on three top five teams in the league. Well, the Vikings, I don't have them top five anymore. But, I mean, this is favoring the Lions. I think that the Chiefs are going to run away with this game. I think that Geno Smith's story was very good to start the year. I think that Seattle Seahawks are slowly but surely crashing back down to earth. I don't think they beat out the other NFC East team. I do think that one of our guys in our division, whether it be the Commanders or the Giants, are going to take a playoff spot, and I think the Detroit Lions are going to take the other one. Who do you got in this game, Tom? Chiefs or Seahawks?
Yeah, I'm riding with the Chiefs, even though they looked like dog shit last week against Houston, winning in overtime. Um, but I think Mahomes is going to get it together. I think Travis Kelsey is going to get his head out of his ass and come back to earth and play some football. Yeah, like you said, I have the Chiefs winning by double digits. It's a big bounce back game for them.
All right, I like it. I like it. A lot of our games this week are all so far same picks. Me and you, all three of us, really, but me and you specifically. I don't think we've had one difference of opinion yet. So we're gonna have to. Yeah, we've chosen every game. You took the Jags. No, we both took the Jets.
Yeah, I took the
Uh,
Jets.
all right, maybe this one will switch it up a little bit. We got the. Let me get the cursor up.
Evan
We got
Ingram,
the
brother.
Ingram again, baby. We have the 6-8 Green Bay Packers traveling to Miami to take on the 8-6 Miami Dolphins, who have lost 3 straight games. The Packers are kind of looking like they're coming back to life, and they're trying to make an addition. Listen, as bad as the Packers have been, this is how wild the NFC is. As bad as the Packers have been, right? They sit 2 games out of a playoff spot. Realistically, they sit a game and a half out of a playoff spot. They are right on the heels of the Detroit Lions, and they are above that NFC South clusterfuck of the Panthers, Saints, and the 49ers. They're actually tied. They got the same record as the Bucks, who are currently sitting in the 4 seed. So, as much as people counted them out, and I thought that do not sleep on the Packers again, because the Giants could lose, the Commanders could lose, the Seahawks could lose, and then the Lions and Packers win. The Packers would leapfrog the Seahawks. The Packers would be tied. Well, Washington would get the help with that tie, but they would be a half a game behind the Commanders with a game in hand against the Lions too. Last game of the week or last game of the season, but Packers have a pretty tough schedule. To where again, and on the other side, the Dolphins, they've looked good all year, but and this was a team that we were talking about a couple weeks ago. They were in a race when they were 8-3. They were looking at a potential 1 seed. They looked like they were going to track the Bills and the Chiefs and the Bengals and go fight for that 1 seed, right? But now the tides have kind of turned and the wheels have kind of fallen off. And not only did they drop out of the lead of the AFC East in the last 3 weeks, but they're not even a top 5 or 6. They're clinching onto that 7 seed. The only reason they're even at the 7 seed right now with a game in hand, with a game above the 8 seed, is because New England lateraled away a fucking playoff berth. And then behind them is the Jets and the Jags and the Raiders and Browns and I mean, the AFC got a pretty little clusterfuck going there too. But the Dolphins are reeling. I do, however, I don't know. This game is tough for me to pick. This is another game I'm going back and forth on. Is the Packers and the Dolphins. I'm going to lean Dolphins, but I would not be surprised if Rodgers goes in there, does his things, picks up the win.
Yeah, so I'm going to go opposite. I'm going to go Aaron Rodgers and the Packers. I think they're going to ride that. I mean, it wasn't the prettiest win against the Rams last week, but I think they're going to ride that. They came off the bye. They beat the Rams. They're going into Miami. Miami hasn't looked all that great. I mean, they put up points against Buffalo, but they let up points. If anybody can score points, Aaron Rodgers can always find a way to score points with journeymen out there as wide receivers. Aaron Jones. I know AJ Dillon get hurt. Right? Did AJ Dillon get hurt?
He did get hurt, and I was looking at that because that affects me. I have Aaron Jones, and if AJ Dillon's out, I'm sorry, AJ Dillon, but I would love that.
But I
AJ
think,
Dillon, I'll get you the update on that, guy.
but I do think I think the Packers win the game, and I think the Packers are going to make a tight run to make it to the playoffs. Did they play Detroit at all again this year?
Oh, I'll double check that. AJ Dillon
Yeah,
he's in a concussion.
They played the Vikings and the Lions to end the season.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They play the Lions the last week.
That Lions game could be a fucking game.
That could be winner gets the 7 seed.
Yeah.
That could be Lions already in, and the Packers need to win, and like a Giants or Commanders loss to get in, and Detroit has a chance to play spoiler. There's a lot of storylines that we got coming down the stretch here. Travis Etienne gets the ball and he gets stuffed at the 2-yard line. 2nd and goal. This is one that you and I need to watch here, Tom.
It is, but yeah, Rogers knows Packers lose, season's over.
It is do or die for the Green Bay Packers now.
Just give the ball to Etienne 3 times. That's all you need to do.
No. Do not give the ball to Etienne 3 times. Give a bootleg and go throw the ball to Evan Ingram.
Kirk. I don't give
another handoff. In for he stuffed at the 1. He stuffed at the goal line, bro. Oh, Lord. Give the ball to Ingram. Just don't give it to Etienne. Doug, what are you doing? What are you doing here, Doug?
Give the ball to Etienne.
No. All right, we got an injury. All right, we'll find out who Derek got, but I'm taking the Dolphins. Tom's taking the Packers. And finally, we get a game where you and I don't agree, Tom. You had the Commanders and 49ers, correct?
As my breakdown,
Yes. Or was that Derek?
no,
No, I
I
got
had it.
you. All right. Well, lead us not into temptation, Thomas, but lead us into the Commanders versus the 49ers.
So in 8 games this season, so Derek picked the Packers.
Mm-hmm.
In
Oh, let's go. I need this. I need this. Let's go,
in
Dolphins.
in 8 games this season, Tyler Heineke has completed 61% of his passes and is averaging 211 passing yards per game, with 10 touchdowns and 5 interceptions. Brian Robinson Jr. leads the rushing attack with 652 yards on the season, but is showing improvement each week with the opportunity, averaging 96.7 yards per game over the last 3 games. Over the previous 3 games, Washington is 13th in the NFL, averaging 5.6 yards per play. The defense is 11th, averaging 5.1 yards per play in the last 3 games. Niners are coming in hot on a 7-game win streak, and Brock Purdy hasn't lost a game yet. The 49ers offense is 8th in the NFL, averaging 5.7 yards per play over its last 3 games, and the defense is ninth, allowing 5 yards per play over that same span. No Debo. George Kittle's back. George Kittle's hot. They got Christian
Kittle.
McCaffrey. They got that. Not Brandon Ayuk guy. Who's the other receiver that they have? The fuck's his name?
Is your break
Wow.
on a blank, huh?
Big fucking blank, dude.
Who'd you
That's,
say? Their wide receiver?
yeah,
Who,
it's
are you
gonna
talking Jawan Jennings or Ray
Jawan
McCloud?
Jennings.
Happens to the best of us, brother.
I couldn't think. I almost said Greg Jennings. If I'm being honest with you, fucking Greg Jennings. Talking about the Packers. That's why. Niners defense is legit. Offense is just doing what they need to do. Brock Purdy is doing what he needs to do. They're in San Fran. They're in the Bay Area. Commanders are coming off a division loss. Commanders' season could end this week.
You know who they get back, right?
They do. They get him back.
Finally.
I've only been saying it for the past 3 fucking games. And he was supposed to play against the Giants, and they shut him down last minute. But he's back. Chase Young is back.
All right. Motion. Evan Ingram in motion. He's going back. Trevor Lawrence touchdown. Oh, he fumbled. Oh, they called it a touchdown. Trevor Lawrence quarterback sneak touchdown. I will take it.
Niners are winning a close game, Rye.
A close game.
Niners are going to pull out a very close game.
Ooh,
and you're going to hear it here first. Do not be surprised if the Niners lose this game to the Commanders.
I will absolutely be surprised if the Niners lose this game to the Commanders. I don't see it happening, but it could. They're getting Chase. That boy Chase is coming back. He's gonna Purdy might not be looking so purdy after the game when Chase gets through with him. All right. Now this game is technically right now both teams are in a playoff hunt, but I feel like this game is loser out. Technically, the Saints wouldn't be out because they could still win that division. To where the Browns, one more loss and they're not getting back in the AFC playoff race. But we got the Cleveland Browns hosting the New Orleans Saints. Deshaun Watson continues to try to get into a groove with his team and everything. It's looking more and more like this season is just going to be, okay, Watson, get reps, get this, get that. And then let's move into the off season. Let's move on to next year. And we know what we got coming into the next year. And hopefully next year is a little bit better, right? I have the Cleveland Browns as my team in my second Madden league. You asked me the other day how many Madden leagues I'm in. I told you I was in 2. The one I really pay attention to is BG. The other one I don't. I just play my games. That league, I am the Browns. And I have Deshaun Watson. And he stinks. He's not really that good. But holy hell, his cap hit is $55 mil a year. He is getting paid so much money, and he's garbage. And I couldn't stop. But right now, he's garbage. And I couldn't stop thinking how this is going to go down as one of the worst contracts in NFL histories. If nothing more than the Browns paid him so much money that they're going to turn into Houston. They're going to be, tell me they're not going to be the Houston Texans when Deshaun Watson first got there. They're going to be mediocre on because they're not going to be able to pay all these guys. They're going to have a good, if they can hold on to Myles Garrett, they can hold on to Denzel Ward, and they can hold on to Nick Chubb, fine. Then, all right, we'll see. But the Houston Texans, they had a stud wide receiver in DeAndre Hopkins, right? Cleveland don't have that. They got Amari Cooper, but he's not what D Hop was in Houston. But Cleveland has the better running back to where Houston had Alfred Blue, and they had a cycle of running backs that wasn't really much, right? And then on defense, they have that all-time great edge rusher. For Houston, it was J.J. Watt. For Cleveland, it's Myles Garrett. And then outside of that, the rest of the roster is almost nothing. And I feel like that's what the Browns are about to turn into, is what the Houston Texans were, which is they got Deshaun Watson, they got a couple decent players around them, they got a face of a franchise defensive edge rusher, and that's it. And they don't have money to do nothing else. I think the Browns are in for, if this don't work out with Watson, and even if it does, they're going to be in cap hell for a long time. Their roster's gonna really suffer because of this contract. I don't think the Browns are going to be doing much in the future, but I do think they're going to win this game. Who do you got winning, Tom?
The Cleveland Browns.
Okay. Now, are you speaking with your mind, or are you speaking with your heart?
I'm just speaking. I just think the Cleveland Browns are the better team. How bad that sounds.
Does sound pretty bad. All right. We're in agreement. I don't know which way Derek will lean for this. Of course, we want the Saints to lose because of our draft pick, but there's a realistic chance that Saints got a good defense. The Saints got yeah, and they got some bombs coming on offense, but I think I trust Nick Chubb a little bit more than I trust Kamara right now. And I think the Browns got enough playmakers on defense to make something happen. I do think the Browns win. Let's jump over to the 1-12-1 Houston Texans traveling to Tennessee to take on the Titans, who have just been losing games and are in danger of losing the AFC South lead if they were to lose this game and Jacksonville was to hold on and beat the Jets tonight. Any chance that the Texans go into Tennessee, Tom, and upset the Titans?
Yeah, I mean, the way that Houston's been playing the past 2 weeks, if they can play like they did against Dallas and definitely play they did against Kansas City and just hold a lead and Lovey can just not blow it again, they can beat the Tennessee Titans. I don't think it's going to happen, but I do think Tennessee is going to win the game, and it's going to be a very close game.
Here's another question. Fantasy football wise, Derrick Henry has scored, I think it was 35 plus points against the Houston Texans in 4 straight matchups. I'm gonna set it at I'm gonna set the bar at 30. Does Derrick Henry go over 30 fantasy points this week against the Houston Texans?
No.
So okay, so the Texans are about to hold him in check. He's going to
hold
29.
him under 30 fantasy points.
All right. And a lot of these games that are left, they involve one team that's eliminated and one team that's not, or they involve 2 teams that's eliminated, but we're going to get through them all, I promise. The 5-9 Atlanta Falcons are traveling to Baltimore to take on the Ravens, who are 9-5, are still in the playoff race, but are going to be without Lamar Jackson yet again. And now that lead and that cushion has come to a point where the Ravens, it's now or never. They're 9-5. They do still have a 2-game lead over the Patriots and the Jets, which is going to help them. But they are in danger. They're in real danger of falling now from the 5 seed, which has them matched up with the Titans, which we've seen them play in the playoffs twice over the last 3 years. Those matchups are fucking amazing. Them 2 teams, for whatever reason, hate each other. but they're going from a matchup where Lamar is healthy. They're probably favored against the Titans or the Jags if the Jags win the division to fall into the 7 seed, where they're staring at a matchup against the Chiefs, the Bengals, or the Bills, whoever gets that 2 seed. So, or they could find themselves completely out of the playoffs with the Patriots, the Jets, and the Jags all kind of creeping. Which way are you leaning in this game, Tom?
No Lamar, no W. Give me the Atlanta Falcons.
I like
Lamar.
it.
First of all, the offense isn't anything special with Lamar because they have nothing to help him. But without Lamar, that offense is absolute fucking dog shit. The Houston Texans offense might be better.
I'm inclined to take the same route as you and take the Falcons this week simply because I just watched them do next to nothing last week. They scored 3 points in a game against the Browns. I just don't have any belief in this team. It is downpouring in the Meadowlands. Imagine playing in a thunderstorm at 30 degrees. Well, I mean, we've been there. We've done that. But fuck that. That is too much. All right. We are both on the Falcons train, as to be expected, as we both have bets against the Ravens. Let's jump into this game. The Las Vegas Raiders sit at 6-8. They're traveling to Pittsburgh to take on the 6-8 Steelers. Both teams technically still in the AFC playoff push, sitting at the 13 and the Steelers are at the 13 seed. The Raiders are at the 11 seed due to tiebreakers and whatnot. Oh, he almost muffed that punt. Tom, the winner of this game is going to stay alive. The loser is going to fall out of the AFC race. They won't officially mathematically be eliminated, but they're done. The loser of this game. Who wins this game?
So 2 days ago, I was all over the Raiders. Everything was great. I thought the Raiders were going to win the game. Then the news comes out, rest in peace, Franco Harris, 72 years young. On the 50th anniversary of the Immaculate Reception, this Saturday, they were going to retire number 32 at halftime for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm inclined to go with the fact that the Steelers are going to be up for this game. They're going to be hyped for this game. They're going to play for this game. But I just don't have any faith in Mitch Trubisky. I don't. I have no faith in Mason Rudolph if he plays. I don't. I want to take the Steelers because of the whole situation that's going on, but I think the Raiders coming off that win against New England, I think they're going to be up. I think you're going to get. I think like you said, dude, Devontae Adams had a great stretch of games. He went on a milk carton, came back and told you to go fuck yourself, Rye. He showed up again, and now you're telling him to go fuck himself because he's back on a fucking milk carton. I watched this man Derek Carr last week throw 2 passes to Mac Hollins on back-to-back plays where in what world and universe are you throwing this ball to Mac Hollins? One, I don't know how Mac Hollins is a fucking captain of the offense. I don't know.
Mac
or
Hollins
special
is
teams
underrated
captain.
there, bro.
He's not the dude. In a situation like that, you throw the ball up to your best player in Devontae Adams. He got Derek Carr didn't even look. I don't give a fuck if Devontae Adams is triple teamed. I'm throwing the ball to Devontae Adams before I throw the ball to Mac Hollins on a fly route.
Listen, Mac has been their he's been their deep play threat this year, though.
I just don't know. I don't know why Devontae Adams. Matter of fact, Rye, while I'm checking this real quick, I'm going to go back to last week's game really quick, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to look at my man how many targets Devontae Adams got. Let's see if
I know he had 4 catches.
He had 4 catches for 28 yards. All right, he had 9 targets. But 4 catches, I don't know. I don't know if I didn't watch the full game, so I don't know if Derek Carr if the passes were bad or if he couldn't throw Devontae open or if Devontae Adams couldn't get open or what it was. But you're going to see Devontae Adams is going to get involved in this game. He's coming back to life, and the Raiders are going to beat the Pittsburgh Steelers and still have a chance at a playoff spot. And I want to go against Derek so bad, trust me.
You know Derek's taking the Raiders, bro.
I know
Derek's taking the Raiders. Yeah. I agree with a lot of what you said. I think Devontae Adams. I don't think there's an instance where Devontae Adams doesn't get open. Just saying. That dude is always open. He's like a fucking 24/7 Wawa. He's never not open. Um, I'm on the same boat. I'm gonna take the Raiders here. Jumping over to little Christmas Sunday action. Game of the week, or as Derek would call it, the shit bowl game of the week. Denver Broncos at the Los Angeles Rams. Both teams are eliminated. Both teams have backup quarterbacks. Both teams have pretty good defenses. And both are missing a ton of weapons that would typically, at the beginning of this season, you look at this game at week 16, you're like, damn, we got the Broncos who should be in the AFC West playoff race. We got the Rams who should be in the NFC West playoff race. Damn, this should be a really good and intriguing game. Instead, you got two teams that have combined for 8-20 record. I don't even know which way to go this game. This is just complete toss up. I'm a rock with the Broncos because I've been rocking with them. No faith in the Broncos at all. No faith in the Rams. I'm just picking. I'm literally flipping a coin and picking a team.
Yeah, I'm on board with you with the flipping a coin and picking a team.
Take the Rams.
But I'm gonna take the better quarterback in Baker, and I'm gonna take the home team.
Baker is about to get his shit pushed in by the Browns. Just saying. All right, let's jump into the last game on the slate. Your boy Tommy TB12 and his Bucks are traveling to Arizona to take on the eliminated, as of last week, 4-10 Arizona Cardinals, who are also trotting a backup quarterback. No, I'm sorry, they're trotting the backup quarterback out. Trace McSorley is going to battle this game, or is going to start this game for them, and he's going to battle Brady. Now, typically, my mindset, Evan Ingram, baby, go. He's going. Oh, that boy Ingram is eating Tom. Feed him. Fuck out of here. Cuz, for context, for anybody that doesn't know, me and Tom are, this is the beginning of a very heated battle. The winner of this is going to the championship and is guaranteed at least $500 or $600. If not more, maybe a little less. What's up? When I'm done. Go. What a play, Tommy. Look at the back of that man's jersey. That's a football player. He looks like a winning player right there. Tampa Bay Bucks, Arizona Cardinals. Who you got winning, Tom?
TB12, baby. He ain't losing to a fucking backup quarterback, especially
You
not a
sure
quarterback.
he just lost the
He's not losing.
Foles? He lost to Purdy?
He's not losing to a quarterback from Penn State.
If there's any quarterback in the league that's going to lose to a backup quarterback, Tom, it's Tom Brady.
That is a very good point.
It is. I know it is.
But I'm going to go with I'm going with TB12.
TB12. Me too. Me too. And I'm expecting Derek to be on the same boat as us. But we'll see. We will see. All right. Two more things I wanted to get through. First being, last week we did a combined power rankings, which seen it shake up like this. The Detroit Lions sitting at number 10, followed by the Commanders at 9, the Dolphins at 8, the Vikings at 7, Bengals at 6, 49ers at 5, Bills at 4, Chiefs at 3, and because he refused to put the Cowboys at number 2, the LA Chargers, Tom put at number 2, and of course, Philadelphia Eagles at number 1. Now, how the rules go for this is typically there's 3 of us. One of us start at 10, and we alternate picks in order, and once a team is picked, they cannot be chosen again. Therefore, it starts to create a little bit of chaos once, Tom has the Bengals as the number 2 team and Derek decides to put them at number 6. This week, we're going to switch it up. It's just me and you, Tom. Who's your number 10 team?
The Detroit Lions.
You are a motherfucker. They are not number 10, Tom. You can't name 10 teams better than the Detroit Lions. Fine. You want to play that game?
Lions.
Tell me why they're number 10.
I just think they're a hot team, and they just crack my top 10 list, and they win another game. They might jump up 4 spots. They might jump up 6 spots. Who knows? I just think there's a few teams that are a little bit better than them right now.
Like who? It's not
Realistically,
the
you'll find
Chargers.
out. You'll find
It's
out.
not the Chargers. It's not the Dolphins.
I
It's not
got
the
the drop.
Vikings who they just beat, Tom. Oh my God. I'm sick of your shit. I'm going to go ahead and at number 9, you want me to do it? No, I'm not going to do it. I won't be that much of an asshole. I'm going to put the Chargers at number 9. Although I do not believe that the Los Angeles Chargers should be ranked above the Detroit Lions. The Lions had a rough start to the season. They had to find themselves to where the Chargers had all these expectations and they fucking stink, Tom. Who's your number 8 team? Who's your number 8 team, you bum?
Dallas Cowboys.
I fucking agree. Almost. I have them a little bit higher, but don't you love the fact that you can get them out the way now and you don't have to worry about them being up top? All right. This is going to make for some interesting things. I'm going to put at number 7, I'm going to put the Miami Dolphins. I think that they still deserve to be a top 10 team. I actually have them a little bit lower in my personal rankings, but for the time being, they can hang around. They could sit at number 7. And all they need is a win. They get a win, they're going to stay in the top 10. They lose, they're falling out of my top 10 because they are very, very close to being out of it already. Tom, who's your number 16?
The Minnesota Vikings.
Okay. I can't hate on that. I cannot hate on that. Minnesota Vikings. Now, a little bit of trouble that I could see in this is that the Cowboys absolutely demolished the Vikings. But when you look at it, the Vikings beat the Dolphins. The Dolphins got to be ahead of. I don't know. This is tough here. But hey, listen.
Vikings beat the Bills.
Vikings beat the Bills, but that's just that whole spider web of this team beat that team, but beat that team. All right, so my number 5 team, we could kind of get back on track a little bit. My number 5 team. I'm going to do it to you, Tom. You did it to me. And I'm throwing a wrench. The Cincinnati Bengals.
You're out of your mind.
You're out of your mind.
You sat there in the beginning of the show and said they're the best team in the AFC right now.
I did have them as my top AFC team. And part of the reason why you can't stand the shit that Derek does is because he disrespects the Cincinnati Bengals. And what's the first thing you do in these power rankings? You disrespect the Detroit Lions. Therefore,
just be happy that the Lions are in my top 10.
I don't need them to be in your top 10. They're in my top 10, and that's what matters. And they're in the NFL's top 10, and they're going to make a playoff push, Tom. But the Cincinnati Bengals are now sitting at number 5 because of you. You put them there, not me. You did. Now, who's your number 14?
The fucking Kansas City Chiefs.
Okay. All right. We could kind of get back on track a little bit, Tom. We don't have to be at each other's neck, okay? I still think you're an absolute idiot for putting the Detroit Lions at number 10. Fucking asshole. This guy. All right, let me put in you put the Chiefs at 4. All right, I'm going to stick now this is where I think you may have a little twist. Who knows? I'm going to stick the Buffalo Bills at number 3. I think that
Bengals are at number 2.
No, they're not. They're at number 5, cuz. They're at number 5, cuz. So why don't you tell me who your number 2 team is?
The San Francisco 49ers.
Now your power rankings are starting to make a little bit more sense, Tom. I know that I knew you had a brain in there, cuz. Good choice. And then number 1 will be the Philadelphia Eagles.
But so again, know for a fact the Bengals are the second best team in football behind Philadelphia.
I listen, we can get into it. Again, so last week our power rankings, our combined power rankings where we all pick and we all put who we think they're, or we add a little wrinkle, add a little twist to piss somebody off. We have no choice. We have no control over the picks before or after us. We only have control of the picks in our slot. Last week, it turned out, as you can see on the screen, starting from 10-1, it was Detroit, Washington, Miami, Minnesota, Cincinnati, San Fran, Buffalo, Kansas City, LA Chargers at 2 because Tom refused to put the Cowboys, and the Eagles at 1. This week at number 10, we have the Detroit Lions. At number 9, we have the LA Chargers. At number 8, the Dallas Cowboys. Number 7, Miami Dolphins. Number 6, the Minnesota Vikings. Number 5, improperly placed, the Cincinnati Bengals. Number 4, the Kansas City Chiefs. Number 3, the Buffalo Bills. Number 2, the San Francisco 49ers. And number 1, the Eagles. Now, let's bring it to, now we can kind of compare and contrast a little bit. Let's bring it to our personal top 10 power rankings. Tom, who do you got number 10?
The Detroit Lions.
I am smacking your bald head when I see you tomorrow. That is disrespect. At number 10, I have the Los Angeles Chargers, Tom. That's a proper team to put at number 10. Who's your number 9 team?
The Miami Dolphins.
I agree with you there. Finally, something smart. Number 8.
Dallas Cowboys.
Okay, I got the Minnesota Vikings at 8.
7.
Who's number
LA
7?
Chargers.
You got the Chargers. All right, so we have the same, almost the same, only you have Detroit at 10. I have LA at 10. You have the Chargers at 7. And at 7, I got the Detroit Lions. I got the Lions above the Vikings, the Dolphins, and the Chargers because they're the hottest team in the league, and they beat the dog shit out the Vikings.
They're the second
hottest team in the league,
NFC,
Tom.
In the NFC.
They're not even the hottest team in the NFC. The Niners can take that because they got 7 straight wins. But when you're looking purely from a confidence standpoint, give me the Lions. Give me in a head-to-head matchup, the Lions over the Bengals because smoking them. Stop. Matter of fact, we can load up Madden, whatever Madden you want and throw that shit on. I'll be the Lions. You be the Bengals. I'm spanking you because just like real life.
How about we'll just simulate the game?
We could do that. I'll run that shit right after this. You think somebody's scared of simulating the game?
At number 6, I got the Minnesota Vikings.
At number 6, I have the Dallas Cowboys.
At 5, I got the Niners.
I got the Chiefs at 5.
I got the Chiefs at 4.
I got the Bills at 4.
I got the Bills at 3.
I got the Bengals at 3.
I got the Bengals at 2.
I got the Niners at 2.
I got the Eagles at 1.
And we got the Eagles at 1. Yes. All right. Not too bad. I think we both agree on the Bengals. I value the Niners a little bit more than you do. And you value the Chargers more than you value the Detroit Lions. And it's going to be your downfall. It's going to lead to your downfall, Tom. It's going to be your downfall. All right. Well, we got through that. And now the time that we're all waiting for. Drum roll. The Tom Flynn Lock of the Week. Tom, take it away, cousin.
So I'm going to read a little snippet that I seen. And I'm going to go with a team that hasn't let me down yet this year. But before I say the team, a little thing I seen on the internet. It was 2020. The NFL draft was looming, and the world was on the brink of going into hibernation because of the COVID-19 pandemic. This player was in Miami, walking out of a steakhouse with then Detroit Lions coach Matt Patricia following a pre-draft dinner. He glanced up and saw someone else he recognized, Patriots coach Bill Belichick. Joe Burrow said, "I just went up and introduced myself." They asked him, was there any nervousness about meeting one of the NFL's most revered coaches? I didn't really think about it, Burrow said. I figured he knew who I was. I just went up and introduced myself. Nothing crazy. 2 years later, the pair will meet under much different circumstances. The Cincinnati Bengals -3 over the now depleted New England Patriots. Lock it up, bet the crib, bet it all. Cincinnati Bengals -3.
You've heard it here first.
Joey Burr, baby.
I'm also live in Sippo, so these guys can give me their live feedback, Tom. But let me give it out to the people. What was the line? -3?
The Bengals -3. The
The
Bengals money
Tom
line. The Bengals everything. The Cincinnati Bengals.
the Tom Flynn lock of the week is the Cincinnati Bengals. He didn't say what. It's just the Bengals across the board. He said take the Bengals money line, take the Bengals with the points -3, take it all. The Cincinnati Bengals are the Tom Flynn lock of the week. I love it. I love it. I think that that's a cash. Sippo guys in the comments, tell me what you think about the Tom Flynn lock of the week. The Cincinnati Bengals -3 over those pesky ball fumbling Mac Jones, stiff arm into the ground New England Patriots. Does anybody agree with the Tom Flynn lock of the week? Because this is the thing. This is the thing about the Tom Flynn lock of the week. Oh, Jim Burdigan, Tom, he said, you're finally playing one safe and it's at the expense of his team. I don't think this is a safe play.
Very
This ain't
safe.
this ain't well, I'm saying in terms of taking like the pussy route, right? Because you could easily go, like you said, you could easily go and take a money line of a team that's favored to win by a lot. But instead, like you could take the Tennessee Titans or you could take the Niners, anything like that. But instead, you take a 3-point game. What do you think about what are your comments, Tom, to Jim saying that this somebody just said now that the Tom Flynn lock of the week has been locked in, Patriots are going to win 56-7.
No
Tom,
shot.
they are disrespecting you and your ability to line their pockets. What is wrong with you people?
Bet it all on the Bengals, baby.
Bet it all on
Joey
the Bengals.
Cool is going into Foxborough.
Tom says
Joey
Joey
Cool
Cool is going into
is coming out
Foxborough
victorious.
and he's coming out victorious. All right,
This
give
is an
me
extremely safe play. We have no clue how to play offense against competent teams.
and that Bengals defense has been a little competent. The Bengals defense has looked a lot better than it has. But again, Jim calls it an extremely safe play. Because the Tom Flynn is supposed to be a tough game. And if the people think that this is a safe one, I mean, listen, my thing is everybody has an opinion on the Tom Flynn lock of the week, right? Everybody thinks that it's so easy to pick a lock of the week and put your name and put your balls on the table to guarantee that this team is going to cover and tell people to take out second mortgages. Tom, you've told people to take out mortgages on their home. It's Christmas time, Tom. Why are you going with such an easy pick?
Listen. I'm gonna hook it up. The Bengals play Saturday at 1:00. By 4:30, you'll have money in your account. You can get last minute Christmas presents. Just take the Bengals -3 and thank me later.
Ooh, ooh, I like it for our Sippo guys. He said, don't worry about it. You need extra Christmas money. By 4:30, you'll have as much money as you want. If you take the Bengals -3, you're gonna get it. But seriously, so for our Sippo guys, I do want you, or for any of our viewers, just give me your lock of the week. Because what I want receipts. Everybody gets to come at Tom, right? Everybody gets to go at Tom and say the Tom Flynn lock of the week sucked and it was this or that. Well, give us your lock of the week. Sean Ryan, Jim Bridigan, Ant. I know you're on here. Frank, Brent, Michael. Give us Sean, Timlin. Give us your lock of the week so that at least we have something to come back and say, okay, well, maybe Tom's lock of the week didn't cash in this week, okay? But it ain't so easy. Sean Ryan says he's going to look at the lines and get back to us. We'll see, Tom. We'll see. I would like to do something to where we should do a head-to-head type of deal where we give other people a chance to go head-to-head with the Tom Flynn lock of the week for the season, right? And we see who got a better record. Because I don't think it's as easy as these people are putting it out to be. Sean Timlin agrees with you, but he's going to pick something else.
That's because Sean's a smart man.
Sean is a smart man. All right, fellas from Sippo, get your comments in, and I want to know what your lock of the week is. All right, before we jump out of here, Tom, I want to add on some shit because as much football as we talk, obviously we love football. Everyone loves football. We are not just a one trick pony. And once football season slows down, we will be getting into everything else. But as far as the pick'em records, I wanted to add a little twist in. We have between now and our next show, we have not only a great slate of football, but we got a good Christmas Day slate of basketball games. And we're gonna pick our basketball. We're gonna put our basketball pick'ems on the line too. So kicking off or tipping off first at 12 o'clock on Christmas Day, we got our beloved 76ers at the New York Knicks. Who wins that game, Tom? Who's your pick?
I'm pretty sure both teams are hot right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, the Knicks they just lost to the Raptors. Sixers are hot. In New York, going to be a lot of there's probably going to be a lot of Sixers fans there. Give me the Sixers.
I like it. I'm taking the Sixers too. The next game on the schedule, Lakers at Mavericks. I'm gonna go ahead. If this game was a week ago and Anthony Davis was healthy, I'm all over the Lakers. But with his recent injury and everything, I'm gonna take the Mavericks. Although LeBron shows up on Christmas Day, it's gonna be a nationally televised game. You know, LeBron's going to show up. He's gonna do whatever he can to show everybody, look, I still got a motherfucker, but I don't think it's gonna be enough. I'm taking the Mavericks. Who you got?
I'm taking LeBron and the Lakers.
Of course you are. You are just a LeBron fan through and through. You can never look. You can never be subjective when it comes.
Game of the day, right here. The game
Oh,
of the day.
you talking about the next game?
The Bucks
Oh,
Celtics.
all right. I thought you were
The
saying Lakers
game of the
Mavs.
day.
Yeah, I think it is.
I'm going arguably the best player in the universe right now. Giannis and the
You're
Bucks.
going with you're going with the Bucks going into TD Garden on Christmas
Yup.
and knocking off the Celtics.
Yup.
All right, let me mark you down, Bucks. Against my better judgment, I'm gonna regret it, but I'm gonna choose the Celtics. I think the Celtics pull this game out. I think Tatum gets going. The Celtics have not looked nearly as good recently as they did. They had a little stretch where I even came on here and was like, all right, this team is the shit. This team's gonna go win a championship, but they've fallen back down to earth a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and take the Celtics though. I think that they do pull this one out. Another good game. It would have been better if Steph didn't get hurt, but you got the Grizzlies and John Morant traveling to take on the Warriors. Who do you got? Grizzlies, Warriors, Tom.
I got the Grizzlies.
The Grizz. I might have to agree with you there. I might have to agree with you there. I do think that without Steph, now with Steph, who are you taking? You still taking the Grizz or you going
No, I'm taking the Warriors with Steph.
Although I think I'm going to say I think with Steph, I'm probably still taking the Grizzlies. That team is fun. Ja is a beast. They got a good squad there. Last but not least, the last game, the nightcap of Christmas Day, is the Phoenix Suns, who just continue to have problems between coaches and players. Last year it was Jake. Last year in this all season it was Jay Crowder. Now it's DeAndre Ayton and Monty Williams going back and forth. It just seems like the players just ain't taking up the Monty Williams. At least them two weren't. Suns at Nuggets. I'm going Denver. I just think there's too much turmoil in Phoenix. I think that they're just, I don't know. I just don't trust that Phoenix team. I never trusted that Phoenix team. I thought that I know that they made a championship and lost, and they were supposed to be, at least the last two seasons before this season, they were like heavy favorites towards the end of the first season because they made the finals. And then coming into last year, they were expected to just do so much more. I just never really was a believer in them. I'm going to take the Nuggets.
I agree with what you said. I'm gonna take the Suns.
You just want to be difficult. You just want to be different. All right. Well, that wraps up our NBA pick'ems. And yeah, I'm excited, dude. I'm excited. It's gonna be a great weekend of sports. It's gonna be tough to watch everything simply because it's Christmas. And as far as the next show, we're looking at potentially doing. We're not going to do a Sunday show because it's Christmas, and we're dads and we got the whole family thing to do. And we want you, we don't, not only do we want to be with our families, but we don't want to take and we don't expect to take anyone away from their families to come pay attention to us. So, with that being said, we are going to do a show next week. I think it will probably be Monday. I would expect Monday. And because of the impending holiday there, we may try to squeeze two shows in one, meaning Monday could be a wrap up of week 16 and a preview of week 17 show to where we knock out all the games and then we preview all the next games and just get it all done at once. But we will keep everybody updated. And again, man, the numbers are, listen, we're not blowing up. We're not doing thousands and thousands of streams and anything, but with the support that we're getting, we'll be on our way there. I love the support that we're getting. Thank you guys for comment and sharing all that. And before we jump out of here, Tom, I want you to take a look at the screen. Sean put in a 3-leg parlay with the Buffalo money line, Josh Allen over 1.5 touchdowns, and total points over 40 and a half. Now, the only thing I think I disagree with there, actually, I think Buffalo wins, of course. I think Josh Allen's 1.5 touchdowns could be in question because of the wind. There's going to be, Sean, there's going to be like 30-mile-per-hour winds there. And I think that could affect the total points and the over-under touchdowns for Josh Allen. Tom, what do you think about that parlay there?
I'm gonna rock out with my man Sean. It's just gonna be it's gonna be a weird game where like we're sitting here thinking it's not gonna be a high scoring game and it could be a fucking 35-35 game going into overtime.
It could. It could. I don't see it, but it definitely could. Tom, your boy is ETN is racking up the catches. So as of right now, Evan Ingram has 5 receptions, 83 yards, 13 points. ETN has 3 catches, 29 points, and 64 yards. So he has 64 rushing yards. So he has 11 points. I'm actually up by 2. If Ingram, if my starting tight end that I didn't even want in the game can outscore your flex, I'm okay with that. That's a good start to the seat. That's a good start to that matchup, Tom. And we're going to put this out. We're going to screenshot this and put this out so you guys can track with us. But I want to thank everybody for jumping in, bullshitting with us tonight. Everywhere. I mean, we had a ton of comments on my personal page that don't show up here. We have comments that you guys left. We got the comments in the Sippo page that people were leaving. Thank you guys for jumping in and interacting with us tonight. And we will have an update on our next show. Tom, you got anything to peace out with?
I just want to say thank you for watching. Please go like and subscribe on all social media platforms, even TikTok at Philthy Dad Pod. And love you guys and have a great Christmas. Can't wait for our next show. And God bless you guys and your family.
Yes, sir. I love it. Short, sweet, and to the point. Happy holidays, everybody. We appreciate you.